Welcome back, everybody. Bears Focus Podcast. Back after round one of the draft. Star, how you feeling today, man?
After round one, or just how I'm feeling
Just
today
in
in general?
general, we gonna get into round one, but just in general, how you feeling on this draft day number two, rounds 2 and 3?
I wish I had a word to give you. I don't know. I mean, yesterday was good, but it was also kind of like interesting. So let's get into all things Bears Focus Podcast, and let's just recap what's going on here.
Oh, for sure, man. And you're right. I know we did the episode yesterday, and it was chaotic. Chaos was basically the word of the day, and the draft kind of was that. A lot of people that, without a doubt, were top 10 first round picks slid all the way to the second round. So, man, just recapping round one.
Oh my gosh.
What was your biggest surprise? And let's save the Bears for a second because we always dedicate a big chunk of time to them. But what was your biggest surprise from round one?
Probably probably the Carolina Panthers selecting McMillan at 8.
Really?
That was a surprise. I thought they would go defense there. They didn't. And then my other biggest surprise was Jaguars moving up. I didn't have them moving up all the way up to 2 with the Browns to get their guy they wanted. I didn't see that happening, and they did that. Those would be my two biggest surprises. Everything else kind of fell how I thought it would fall. Cowboys didn't make any trades, but they continued to build that offensive line for Dak Prescott and that running game going forward. Jerry Jones did have a press conference recently where he harped down and said, "Hey, the offensive line is the to this team." So that's one. I like Mikael Williams. He fell to 11 to San Francisco. I thought the Bears might be in on him. They let him fall one. Instead, we'll talk about who the Bears picked. Guy named Loveland. He's a Michigan man. Maybe that's part of your stripe. He's a Michigan man and not an Ohio State
Not at
guy.
all.
For all of my people out there, Michigan people, go blue, go blue. All right. So just so we can know that. But yeah, those will be my biggest surprise besides Shador sliding outside of the first round. That's very surprising. Even with the Giants getting 2 picks, they use
Yeah.
their first one and they take with the first pick, they go after Edge, Abdul Carter, makes sense. But then with that second pick, they chose Jackson Dart over prime time Dion Shador Sanders. So I don't know. It's chaos pandemonium, not really making sense. TJ Watt is still a Steeler. The Steelers still have no quarterback, but they decided to draft with their pick at 21, Derek Harmon. No quarterback selected. It's just none of this stuff makes sense to me. Like, I don't know.
You know what? From what I got from this first round, the trenches, defensive line, offensive line is becoming very, very important again. Like probably like it's never been before, right? We've seen just the Super Bowl last season, right? How the Eagles lines, defensive and offensive, dominated, like completely dominated the Chiefs. The Chiefs took that and they went pick 32. They said, hey, we got to get somebody for this right side. So they brought in Josh Simmons. I think that was a really good pick. That's not as much a surprise for me. I figured they would go offensive line, but I think that was a really good pick. The biggest surprises for me, the biggest ones for me, it has to be. I didn't think that the Browns would trade back and not take a quarterback, but they do have 2 picks in the second round, so they still may grab one there. And the Falcons. the Falcons traded back in. They took Jalon Walker from Georgia. And then they came back and they got another lineman. They got James Pierce from Tennessee. So the Falcons coming in, getting two edge guys. That was a big surprise for me. I didn't think that the Falcons actually cared about defense, to be honest with you. I didn't think that they would do anything on their defense. I thought they would keep trying to build that offense. So that was a really great surprise for me there. Last one. I know you brought up Shador sliding, but the Giants coming back in to get Jackson Dart. I know the past few days there had been a lot of talk about he's the guy that's number two after Cam Ward, really. It's not Shador. Everybody was maybe buying into the hype, believing the hype. I don't know. But Shador ended up not being a guy sliding out of the first round. Nobody even came back to grab him. So this draft has definitely been one that's more so unexpected. Nobody really knew where people would go. So of the picks from round one, what then would be the most disappointing pick for you? What team did you want to do something differently?
The team I wanted to do something differently in round one, I'm going to have to say I wanted to see the Bears do something differently, but we'll talk about that. And I also want to see the Steelers do something differently. They actually need a quarterback. That's all that we've been hearing about leading up to this draft, how much the Steelers need a quarterback. They haven't had a winning quarterback or a great quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger, right? I mean, if you think that Mason Rudolph is your guy, pay him the money. Pay him. Pay him. Pay him up. The red-nosed reindeer, pay him up and let him lead your franchise to victory.
That'd be crazy.
But this just is like clearly a atrocity on the Pittsburgh Steelers' part. They fumbled Justin Fields.
Yeah.
All right. Who else was on their quarterback at that time when they had Justin Fields? Who else was there?
I think that was one Mr. Unlimited.
Fumbled him. Okay. Russell Wilson is now a New York Giant. So now they're sitting here with no quarterback and Mason Rudolph at the helm again, thinking that he can lead you to playoff victories. That's not it. That's not the Pittsburgh Steelers way. They should have got a quarterback. It should have been Shador. That would have set that franchise ahead a couple of years, but they didn't do it. They didn't do it. Instead, they went and got a guy named Derek Harmon, who should be a solid player building out their trenches. But what does that say about TJ Watt? What does that say about this franchise going forward? Does it want to win? Does it continue want to be an 8-8 team? Is Mike Tomlin's job on the line this season? It looks like all things are stirring up Pittsburgh Steelers. He could be out of there because they're not giving him the requisite pieces he needs to successfully compete.
Yeah, I don't know about that, dog. I don't think that his his job is on the line.
Okay, of course.
I will say, but look, if you look at how teams are building, right? The Ravens had one of the, if not the top rushing offense last season. Steelers being in their division, they say, yo, we got to stop this. So it makes sense for them to go for a D tackle. If there's no quarterback in that first round that they're like, yo, this is going to be the guy, this is who we need to go get. I'm glad that they didn't actually stretch for somebody that they didn't feel comfortable with. A couple years ago, they took Kenny Pickett, I think, in this same draft spot. Terrible, terrible decision, right? Kenny Pickett was traded to the Eagles. Now Kenny Pickett's in Cleveland. Kenny Pickett did win that Super Bowl with the Eagles, though. Shout out to him for that. But he wasn't the starting quarterback for the team that drafted him. He's been on 3 teams now. And who's to say that wouldn't happen with Shador, right? You toss him in. Who else did they have? They don't have anybody. You just name who else? Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph's going to be the mentor to a rookie quarterback to get him to grow and develop? Not at all. So I like that pick there, what they did. I think that how the Steelers built their team, how their team is always led essentially by their defense, kind of similar to the Bears. I think that's a good move for them. Now, since they did trade their second round pick for DK, it's looking like
It's looking like nonsense. That's what it's looking like.
it's kind of looking like Rodgers might be the guy there for them. They may be really just waiting on him to say, you know what, give me the contract, let's do it. And if they're banking on that, I don't know, man. What can Rodgers really give you this point? Last season with the Jets was not too good.
They
Season before
say
that, he missed the whole season.
they say it takes 2 years to heal from an Achilles tendon tear. Right, this would be year 2. They said he looked it. He couldn't be mobile last season.
Yeah.
He had lost that spunk. Some of that zip he had on the ball was no longer there. Can Aaron Rodgers recoup some of that at 40
I was just
years
about to say, he's also
old?
40. He's also
And check it
40.
out. Now, hey, I'm a component. If you can do it, you can do it. Old or young, you can do it. But these young guys are coming up and they're more ferocious than we were coming up because they have all of these different tools available and they only been doing this since they've been 2 years old. Can Aaron Rodgers still hang and play with these guys? I don't know. To be
Probably
determined.
not. Probably not. But the Steelers, man, I think they'll be okay. I've always enjoyed the Steelers. I've liked the team, Mike Tomlin, much respect to him. But a lot of people, let's talk a little bit about some of these picks that were mocked to the Bears that people were saying, Genty and Tyler Warren, and we know they obviously still went with a tight end. What happened with the Genty pick? Obviously, Oakland took him. I kind of figured that's what would happen there. I didn't think he was getting past Oakland with Pete Carroll being there. Again, he loves a running back. He's going to run the ball no matter what. Tyler Warren dropping was a little bit surprising, him getting past the Bears. But before we really get too deep into that, let's go through our 1 through 10 that we did yesterday. And let's see how those stacked up compared to the actual 1 through 10. So with mine, my first 10, I had Travis Hunter going first overall. Obviously, that didn't happen. The Titans ended up sticking in that spot or picking Cam Ward instead. They went with the quarterback. Who was your number one? Was it Cam Ward that you had?
I had Cam Ward going 1.
Okay,
Cam
okay.
Ward was 1 for me on my draft board. He actually went 1 to Tennessee. I said Tennessee may trade that pick. They didn't. They chose to keep it, and they did go Cam.
All right, all right. So then I had Travis Hunter going to Cleveland. I thought the Browns would stay there and make that pick. They didn't feel like they needed a cornerback receiver hybrid. They said, hey, let's go and get this D tackle. Again, same division as those Ravens, as those Steelers. Building out that defense to try and stop those offenses. I do like the move. But I also think that they could have used the Travis Hunter to really help them out on both sides of the ball. Uh, what did you have at that number 2 spot? What did you think about the move that the Browns did?
I had Travis Hunter at number 2 going to the Browns or the Browns trading. And it looked like they did the trade part and
Oh,
Travis Hunter still went number 2, but they traded with the Jacksonville Jaguars. That was the surprise there. I thought
that
Jacksonville
was.
would kind of do some trades with the Bears. They chose not to. They moved all the way up, which shows how aggressive they're being and actually selling tickets this season. They're actually trying to be a
Selling tickets.
productive football team. So shout out to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, I think they should be able to do some nice things. I think that it would have been better for them to get a tackle to try and protect their quarterback down there, but Trevor Lawrence. But hey, give them another weapon. Get something for your defense. I am curious where Travis Hunter is going to play most of his snaps and how the split is going to be. Is he going to be 80-20, 70-30? I'm almost certain it's not going to be a 50-50 split, but that should be exciting there. So at number 3, the Giants, I had them going Shador. I thought they were going to get a quarterback. They ended up getting a quarterback, but later in the round, trading back in. They actually went with Abdul Carter, which I think was a really good pick for them, especially considering they still came in and got their quarterback. That Giants defensive line is going to be formidable. Dexter Lawrence, Thibodeau, Brian Burns, and now Abdul Carter. And that's just the front four. Man, what you think about that? And what was your selection for that number 3 pick?
At 3, again, I had the Giants trading out because if their guy really wasn't there, they had the flexibility. You would think they would have went quarterback. They didn't. I actually had the Giants at number 3 picking Carter if they didn't trade out. So that worked out for the Giants, but I did not expect the Giants to stay at 3. I actually had them doing a mock trade with the Browns, moving up to 2 to get Travis Hunter. That didn't happen. So yeah, Browns Carter at 3. I mean Giants Carter at 3.
Yeah. So far, I'm 0 for 3. You know,
I'm
and
1 for 2.
1 for 3. But
1 for 3.
Man, all right. I'm doing terrible right now, and it's getting even worse because the Patriots, I had them at 4 taking Abdul Carter, which hey, they went with them trenches still, but they ended up getting Will Campbell, who I had falling to the Bears. A lot of people actually had him falling
You were in
pretty
love with
low.
Will Campbell.
I was, and it seemed like a lot of people were. He went in that top 4 pick. The Patriots said we're not letting him slide.
Crazy how you were in love with him and we ended up with Loveland.
Hey, some things just work out that way, but another pick that I got incorrect here. And again, another pick that I do like for the Patriots. I like that they did still get that tackle. Drake May was in danger last season. They needed some protection for him. So getting that help was a big move. What did you have there for and what you think about the pick?
I think I had the Patriots going with an offensive tackle at the pick number 4 here. It was either Carter or Will Campbell. I did not think he was going to slide. It was one of those two guys. Carter, I think, was slated on my draft, but I think I actually went Campbell when I said it out loud because, again, I thought the Patriots were will and deal. Everybody kind of stayed where they were besides the Jacksonville Jaguars, which makes
Yeah.
all of my picks going forward wrong, right? So everybody doesn't really matter. Whoever I had there is wrong because the Jacksonville Jaguars traded up and blew up everything. But I think that was a phenomenal pick for the Patriots. Just hearing Will Campbell speak on draft night about how grateful he was for the opportunity and to be working with Mike Vrabel and the history of the New England Patriots organization and going into that organization being ready to play in hopes to do something at his position historic that builds on the name of the franchise was just truly beautiful for him to express and get out there. But again, Patriots got one. Maybe T-Rex arms, but they got one.
Do you see why I loved him for the Bears? You see, I would have loved him in Chicago. Having somebody like that on our line, mauling down there during the winter season, running that ball. Man, it would have been a sight to see, bro. But
I'm glad the Bears didn't go Campbell there. Again, we fortified our
they
offensive
couldn't.
line.
They couldn't.
I mean, he
He was
wasn't going to
gone.
be there. Yeah, he wasn't there, and I'm glad even if he was there, we shouldn't have did it anyway. So great move by the Bears. Great pick by the Patriots.
I'll definitely talk about what I think they should have done with that pick, but yeah, I agree. Great move by the Patriots there. Number 5. All right, this is where the Browns traded down with the Jaguars. I had the Jaguars staying at this spot and picking Armand Membo at that number 5 slot. Like I said, thought they would take that tackle and try and shore up that line and bring some protection in there for Trevor Lawrence, but that ended up not happening again. Incorrect there. 0 for 5. Um, what did you have at that spot? What did you think about the move? I think, like I said, it was good for the Browns with the division, but what do you think?
I had them actually trading at 5 if Jaguars were there. I had them trading with the Bears and the Bears moving up to get Ashton Genty right there at that 5 spot being uber aggressive. That didn't
Glad they
happen.
didn't do that.
Browns actually made the pick and they went Mason Graham, like you said, D tackle, another Michigan person. All these Michigan people just look at this, making it to the NFL. Who would have thought? I would have thought that that is possible. So shout out again, Michigan. I like the pick for the Cleveland Browns. They're at 5 getting Graham because he's going to be ferocious. He's going to be physical. And then you're talking about alleviating some of those double teams on Myles Garrett. So if you give Myles Garrett a one-on-one opportunity, he has like a 90% chance to win it. If you double team him, he has a 70% chance to win it. Now you talk about somebody like Mason Graham being on that defensive line, you're not going to be able to double Myles Garrett as much as you were throughout the season. So he's going to have more opportunities, and that's really all he can ask for, being the best player in the NFL in his position. TJ Watt may have something to say
I
about
was about
that,
to say.
but currently he is the highest paid, and he is numero uno. You got people like Michael Parsons that need to have a redemption seasons. TJ Watt just needs to continue to be phenomenal. They have super comparable numbers. They just need to continue to go at it. This could be the season for TJ Watt if he stays healthy all 17 games, where he could end up being the defensive player of the year. But again, great pick for the Browns. And of course, they got they still don't have a quarterback.
They got Kenny Pickett. They got Joe Flacco. What's the other kid? Dorian Thompson Robinson, I think. They got a couple quarterbacks on the team, and
But
they
what
still got
about?
Deshaun Watson.
Oh,
They still have a great
he
quarterback
tore his
room.
Achilles twice.
Yeah, that's nasty work right there.
He tore his Achilles twice, and he's guaranteed $200 million.
How much is left on that? Like that is honest. That was a crazy contract, fully guaranteed for a quarterback. That oh man,
He
hey,
got paid off of what he did in Houston,
yeah,
and since then he hasn't been able
he
to
hasn't done
replicate it.
anything
I don't know, maybe it was really the Watt brother that was there with him helping him out,
for sure.
because there's no way he just has that drastic of a fall. Right now you can really look at Deshaun Watson and say we had him slated higher than Patrick Mahomes when he was with the Houston Texans. Had a better passing season than Patrick Mahomes
Yeah,
when he was with the Houston Texans. Now, since then, we could really look at him and say he's a bust.
I don't know if we can actually say he's a bust,
All right,
just
all right,
because he
all
did
right, all
actually
right.
have some successful seasons in Houston. Right, he put up numbers in Houston. He actually did have a decent career there. Then he went Masseuse Maniac on everybody and things went downhill. So I wouldn't call him a bust, but he's definitely he should be or he should have been relegated to where people put Russ now. As
Where's
he's just a
whoa, whoa,
backup.
whoa,
He's
whoa,
just a
whoa, whoa, whoa,
backup
whoa.
journeyman type
Russ is
quarterback.
starting. Russ is starting
I
this
know,
upcoming season,
but how
and
they're
Russ was
giving him
cooking last
contracts,
season.
how people talk about him. Oh, he's just a transition quarterback now. I think Russ is still a very capable starter.
I think
He
so
can
too.
still give you probably 3 to 4 more years consistently before he really starts taking a
Two.
deep decline.
I got him for 2 more years
Uh,
before a deep
uh,
decline.
uh,
It's
that's
some. It's
possible.
something about they say it's something about having a good woman by your side that just
Thing and make you stop caring.
no, not make you stop caring. That just fortifies you and gives you the juice that you need. That I've read that somewhere. They say when you got a good woman by your side as a man, it just juices you up a little bit.
Hey, they do say a good wife is a blessing from God, so it got to make some sense.
Yeah.
But
And with Deshaun Watson, he has 2 years left on that contract, around about 92
that's
million.
crazy.
That could go upwards to about 115, 120 based off incentives.
Yeah, he ain't hitting them incentives. I'm, I wouldn't be surprised if they let him go or really try to just get rid of him. But if you're gonna let the contract run out, same thing.
I mean, he's
So
going to be recuperating this whole year, so that's 1 year
yeah,
of it.
that's what I'm saying.
Are they going to give him a shot in his final year and say, "Lead us"? And then
To
what, he's going
what?
to sign a team friendly contract? They really should have tried to renegotiate that contract with him.
100%. But
And I don't know
why
why.
would
Maybe
you?
his team is not open
If
to
I'm
it.
him, I'm not. Of course not. I have a fully guaranteed contract. No, I'm not restructuring. Like, I don't blame him. I get it 100%. I'm not restructuring anything. Give me all of my coin. But enough about them Browns. We shouldn't have spent so much time on losing teams. Another losing team coming up. The Raiders took Ashton Genty at 6. I am going there. A lot of people had him going there. Some other people had him taking a receiver. Ashton Genty was always the pick. A running back was always the pick, with Pete Carroll being the coach there. I think, again, great move. I know we talked a little bit about this yesterday. They need a running back. They needed that for Pete Carroll, for his offense, with Jacobi Meyers being their top receiver there, or really Brock Bowers at tight end being their top receiver, Geno being their quarterback. I'm not putting all my eggs in Geno's basket. So having that running back was a really good move for them, and I think it's going to really solidify their offense. What you think about that number 6 pick with the Raiders, taking Genty away from the Bears?
I think that was a great pick for them. I thought I had them drafting the cornerback there at that spot, trying to bolster that defense because they don't have very good defensive cornerbacks on the team right now, and they play in a division where you have to be able to cover or you will get smoked. So, great pick for them on offense. Definitely gives Geno Smith a weapon to use. With Brock Bowers being on that offense as well too. Now you got two dynamic weapons with Lad McConkey, not Lad McConkey. What's the guy's name? Uh, that you highlighted yesterday on the
With the
Raiders.
Chargers, the Raiders, Jacoby
Yeah,
Myers or Brock
Jacoby
Bowers.
Myers, Jacoby,
Yeah.
who had a steady set of hands last season, especially towards the end of
No
the season.
drops.
He was getting
No
like,
drops all season.
see what I'm saying? And every time I watched him, he was around that 4 catch mark,
He's
about
consistent. He's a
62
good receiver.
yards. But if you open up his package, he can get you anywhere from 4 to 7 catches a game, averaging anywhere from 52 to about 91 yards a game if you give him the opportunity. So they can expand there and continue to build their team out. But I think it's just a dynamic weapon for the Raiders. Allegiant Stadium will be filled up, butts and seats. It's gonna be awesome. Great pick for them.
Yeah, I agree. Now, finishing out with the last few here, Armand Membo went number 7 to the Jets. I had them taking Tyler Warren, who fell to the Colts at 14.
Yeah, I don't know why you had them going tight end.
I thought they would have needed another weapon, try and utilize what they have, see what they got at quarterback with Justin Fields, see if he's going to be the answer. I thought the defense was pretty solid already, and they would need, like I said, just something to open up their offense a little bit more. But they did the smart move, going and getting a tackle. That caused problems for Aaron Rodgers last season. Let's go ahead and solidify that. Really give our quarterback a chance to survive. We've got what they think is a top tier receiver in Garrett Wilson there. They got some running backs there in Breece Hall. So let's see what the offense can do now with a line that hopefully can protect Justin Fields. What's your thoughts on that Jets pick there at number 7?
I had the Jets going Mikael Williams here. Because again, Aaron Glenn, defensive coach, need a defensive weapon, build out that defensive team some more, giving them more weapons. I guess he feels pretty safe with the players that he currently has on the roster. I did not expect them to go offensive line, but hey, they're trying to make Justin Fields successful, so you can't really hate on that. I think it actually is a good move. You give Justin Fields just a little protection, he could maneuver and he could definitely get that ball down the field. And the thing I like about what the Jets doing, they're reconnecting Justin Fields with people he's been around before, that he's won with before. You talk about Garrett Wilson, him at Ohio State. You talk about his center, Ohio State. You talking about some of the people that are on the coaching staff. He's familiar with these faces. So this could be one of the best NFL seasons we've seen from Justin Fields yet. Reminiscent of maybe a Michael Vick season where he just does crazy rushing numbers, but he's actually underrated as a passer. I'll say that he's actually underrated as a passer. I'm not going to say he's your accurate, throw the dot guy, but
Mm,
he's learned enough football to be proficient at his position and passing the ball, and he's more than proficient. And I think people don't give him enough credit for that. And I think he'll
that's
put
for
that
sure.
talent on display this upcoming season, having a great season.
I agree. I think Justin Fields gonna have a really good season for the Jets here. I think they'll probably end up extending him after the season. Uh, but yeah, this was a good move for him. And now the Panthers at 8, they took Ted McMillan, the wide receiver. That was what I had them doing at that pick. Getting a receiver, getting that extra weapon for Bryce Young to open up that passing game, like we went over yesterday. Their receiving room is insignificant. The best receiver weapon they got is probably Thielen, who's old and on his way out. And then they got Leggett, the second-year player. So now bringing in McMillan, big body receiver, another weapon. Now they got some things there that Bryce Young can use. Not to mention those running backs and Brooks and Hubbard that they already got. So this Panthers offense is looking like it might be something nice, man.
It's trying to revolve around Bryce Young and give Bryce Young a chance to succeed. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they tried to count him out a couple of seasons ago. He's too small. He can't throw the ball. I don't know what happened to him when he was at Alabama to now. He took a regression. He might be a bust. He got benched. He battled all of that
Yeah,
adversity, came back, and really in the last part of the 2024 NFL season, he put up stellar numbers. He looked like a very, very good quarterback that knew how to play the position and get the ball out of his hand on time to players running routes. That was the biggest improvement you saw from him. I think Bryce Young has a great season coming up with more weapons because I think he understands the pace and the flow of the NFL game now. And I think this upcoming season, we're going to see his intellect show up more in games than his natural ability. And I think once he starts thinking this game more, his natural ability will take over, and that's where Bryce Young will have the success. So you can say he'll have Brock Purdy numbers, but I think they'll be better. I see him throwing for more than 20 touchdowns this upcoming season. He's not going to be a runner. He's still too small,
mm-hmm.
fragile. This is the
Yeah,
franchise quarterback. So you can count on Bryce Young for throwing more than 20 tutties this upcoming season from his position with the weapons that he had. And at this spot, for the Panthers, I had them going Mason Graham. I just thought he would slide.
yeah.
He actually didn't. Again, they went wide receiver. They got the help that they needed. Should be a dynamic offense with him and Leggett.
Yeah, I agree. I think the offense definitely will be more dynamic. Um, and then number 9 here, Kelvin Banks, offensive tackle out of Texas. He went to the Saints. Now, this is another team that needs a quarterback. All right. They
Yeah,
said, we're not going to take Shador here in the first round of the top 10 pick. Not going to take Dart. There's
yeah.
no quarterback that we like. We're going and getting the tackle. And they took that's 3 tackles off the board right there in the top 10. So, again, another good pick for him.
Yeah,
Look at Derek Carr right now. Like, they don't even know if he's going to be available next season. So, they needed
100%.
to fix that offensive line as well. What are they going to do at quarterback? It's just a question now. What are they going to do at quarterback? Like, I don't think they actually have a quarterback on the roster.
They don't know what they're gonna do. They have no idea. They have
Man.
no idea. At this spot for the Saints, I had them taking Tyler Warren. I thought he would have been a sweet spot. You get that juice on the offensive line. You got him and Kamara. You could figure out the quarterback position later in the draft if you're the New Orleans Saints. I thought they went and get a dynamic tight end. I guess their tight end room is set. I guess they feel like the tight end that they had on the roster is going to be the one to lead them uh,
Jamal
for
Johnson
years to
pretty good
come.
at a tight end.
Oh
He's
yeah,
pretty
I
good.
agree. I agree. But I mean, you had Tyler Warren and you had Loveland on the board. You could have just totally changed your franchise there because these are franchise tight ends here. Uh didn't decide to do it. They instead chose um Kelvin Banks Jr., offensive tackle, Texas. So great pick for them. You see a lot of NFL team bolstering their offensive or defensive line, which lets you know this upcoming season is all about the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
And pressure should be uh, at its highest peak this upcoming season for NFL
The
team.
run game. The run game is
Yeah.
coming back.
You think it's coming back?
The run game is coming back.
I don't know.
We had two running backs go in the first round with Hampton going later on to the Chargers, which that was another shocker right there. They picked up Najee Harris. Hey, we know what Harbaugh is going to be doing. He's trying to run that ball. He's not trying to lean on Herbert too much. You got a dynamic quarterback. We can have you be dynamic in those moments we need you to be.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to lean on that run game, and that's going to be a really good team to watch this season.
2,000-yard rushers on that team from the running back position. Very interesting.
But we finally made it to 10. The Bears.
Let's talk about it. Let's
Man.
talk about it.
So, as we know, yesterday I had Will Campbell dropping to the Bears
did.
at 10.
Knucklehead.
Man, I thought it would happen. I wanted it to happen. I think it's more than anything what it was. I wanted that to happen. They still could have taken a tackle at that spot. They still did have Simmons on the board at that point. He went 32. They still had, I think that was it, Emery, who went to, or Connolly, I'm sorry, that went to the Commanders. So, I don't know, man. I still am trying to figure out how I feel about this pick. But, yeah, I had Will Campbell. They went with Colston Loveland, tight end out of Michigan. You can start with your thoughts, what you had going. I'm still trying to formulate what I fully think about this pick.
Actually, I love the pick, and this is underrated. Now, Loveland, I had a chance to watch him throughout his college tenure at Michigan. A dog. He pass blocks. He run blocks. He's physical at the point of catch. He's shifty out of his routes. He's you're not going to be able to bully him on the field. He's a team player. All of the things you need to continue to rise and build on this Bears culture. And you think about what they did, and you say to yourself, Ben Johnson, why this? Why this pick? Why no Keenan Allen? Why are you making up the team the way you're making it up? Do you remember a guy by the name of Sam Laporta? When he got drafted by the Detroit Lions in the first season he was phenomenal. Loveland actually reminds me of a phenomenal tight end, historic tight end that used to play for the New York Giants named Jeremy Shockey. Big. Jeremy Shockey was big, but he was physical. He was kind of shifty. But imagine Loveland as a slender version of that, but can do everything Jeremy Shockey can do.
Shockey was a dog.
Hands, reliable, physical, ready to go. I think we got that type of tight end. I think that's the reason why we were out of the Keenan Allen sweet states, and why you see Keenan Allen is still a free agent at this point, because we knew we were going to get an extra receiver at that tight end position. So now you essentially got a guy who could go out as a wide receiver. How do you match up with him? If you spread him out and he's playing your slot position, right? Or he's on the outside and he's running a go route down the field, how do you match up with somebody that height, that speed, that tenacity, attacking the ball at the point of attack? I don't know. He becomes a matchup nightmare for the Bears, and he also becomes a safety valve for Cole Kmet if he doesn't have a good season. So you kind of fortify that tight end room, which takes it over the top, which it wasn't at its current state.
I think that this pick is it obviously is it shows us where the team wants to go, right? We see that, and they said it, there's going to be a lot of 12 personnel. We already knew this. But it really is reminding me now of the Patriots of old, when they had Aaron Hernandez and Rob Gronkowski out there, and Tom Brady was dicing the league up. Now, I hope that is the best version of what we get, right? As opposed to it being all right, now we're looking to trade Cole Kmet or we're lessening his role in the offense. Because I have been seeing a lot of conversation amongst Bears fans online and whatnot, just talking about, well, what about Kmet? You guys are forgetting Cole Kmet. And it does seem that way. But as you said, this is a great addition. All right. Nick
They were
Saban
expecting Cole Kmet to have 1,000-yard season. Bears fan,
at tight end is not happening. Not
it's not. It's
not for the
not.
Bears.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's not
happening. He
happening.
will have over 500 yards. He will
He
have,
may even get close to 8.
yeah, and he will have over 4 touchdowns this season. 500 yards plus 4 touchdowns. But he's going to be a scheme guy where he's going to be a safety valve. Remember we talking about that? I thought Smith was going to be the safety valve. It looks like
Smythe.
it might be Cole Kmet who's the safety valve for the Bears going forward in this team as they continue to build it out.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Just going a little deeper into this with the Bears pick, man. Like, why would they skip over Tyler Warren? I wonder. Now I know Nick Saban did call Loveland probably one of the best route runners in this draft, but Tyler Warren has the numbers, especially last season where he was dominating. All right, straight dominating. He had a game against USC. He had 17 catches, 224 yards. Tight end in college. Like, obviously, one game, small sample size, but this shows you what he can do when we actually focus on him. So I wouldn't have been upset at the Warren pick. I'm not upset at the Loveland pick. I would have much preferred an offensive tackle, build on that line, but hey, it's also looking like maybe they do really just believe in Braxton Jones. Maybe Braxton Jones is the guy for them.
I told you.
Now that could be wrong.
I told you.
It could be Amagashi. That they're like, hey, he's gonna be the guy. But now I'm a little bit worried. Now I'm a little bit worried.
I like the Loveland pick, right? 6'5", about 236, smooth route runner, good with his hands. Again, he can attack the ball at his highest peak and go up and get it. He can run block. He's physical. He's a red zone threat. You have to cover him. You can't leave him. I think he's going to be able to learn from Cole Kmet. They're going to build up a great tandem there, and we're getting scarier and scarier Bears fans. I don't think we're done yet. I still think there's a chance that we might move on from DeAndre Swift in that backfield. I just really think there is. He could get traded. I keep saying this. He could get traded for a third, fourth, or fifth round pick, and we can end up getting a running back. Two brand new running backs back there because I don't think Roschon Johnson is going to be in the rotation too much.
Yeah.
Travis Homer is a
special teamer.
So we do have a space available in our running back room, and we might look to address it in the second round with our first pick. I don't even think we go offensive line. I think we may go running back because, again, build it out.
So I agree. I think that running back is most likely going to be the pick. I'm looking and hoping for Travion Hendrickson, not Judkins. If it's going to be Scatterbo, let's get him later. Not the guy from Iowa, whatever his name is, I can't remember. Go and get Henderson. And it's not about Ohio State. It's not that at all. I just think he's the best running back left on the board.
I mean, right now with the best players left available in round 2, you got to think about those teams that need a cornerback. Remember I said Will Johnson had him slated for a first round pick. He didn't go.
I thought he would be top 10.
He dropped.
But his knee, so they worried about his knee.
Yeah, but there's still so many good cornerbacks left in this draft where you can still get one. I don't see us going after a wide receiver. I don't necessarily see. We do need to maybe get another offensive tackle piece, but I think we wait on that because again, we redid offensive line. I think you expect somebody like Mike Green to come off the board real fast in the second
Oh
round,
yeah.
and I think offensive tackle East Ray from Minnesota. I think he comes off the board really fast in the second round as well too. Continue to fortify those trenches as much as you can before, hey, you can't anymore.
So it's a few pieces that's still on the board that in our very first mock that we did, I had them going to the Bears. It's one player in particular that I'm looking at that I think they should go ahead and get. If that player is still available for them to get. Notre Dame safety, Xavier Watts. Now, with the line, the offensive tackles being really taken away early. We know what they're looking for and we know what they need. They need a running back. They're gonna get a running back. It's just up in the air who it's gonna be, right? And not with that next pick at 41, I say go get a safety. Now, I know the guy from South Carolina is still out there. I know Makuba is still out there from Texas. Go get Xavier Watts. He's the guy. He's going to be the guy that sticks with the team long term, that we can build with leading into the future. Take over that spot for Bayard because he's obviously not getting re-signed. Or be the guy there if Brisker gets hurt and something happens to him again. We just don't know. So those are the spots that I am looking at for them to get with that pick number 39 and 41. Is there anybody specific that you see them going for, or is it just position or best player available?
I have them going for running back first. Um, with the first pick in the second round. And then I have immediately them going safety,
Okay.
offensive line, and then tackle. With their defensive tackle with their remaining picks. I think the Bears they have to address the running back room. They have to get a guy in there that they want that they picked, so you can have this new offense, this new culture spread throughout various rooms on the offensive, giving Caleb Williams again another piece, building it out for him so he could be successful. I think they go running back first with their first pick in the second round, and then immediately after that they go safety, and that puts the pressure on Brisker this upcoming season to not only have a bounce back season, but to be healthy.
Be
Praying that
effective.
he has a healthy season, but also be effective, like you said, and actually produce. When he's in there, he does play up. Can he continue to play up and not get those traumatic brain injuries? I mean, we know the NFL are taking numerous steps with safety precautions with the helmets and padding and all of that. But I mean, hey, if he's not right, he's not right, and we still need to be prepared to go. And right now, we don't have a lot of safety depth. So
No, not at all.
the safe pick would be running back first, then safety immediately second.
Hmm. I agree 100%. I think that's what they do. And I like that we are in agreement on something finally. Seems like we agree there, and I like that. So, hey, Ryan Poles, we still think you the draft genius out here. Think you made a good move with that first pick this year. Let's see what happens. But man, the first round was crazy. It was crazy. Before we get out of here, give our final predictions for round two and what the Bears are going to do and what we expect overall from this second and third round here today. Give me your last thoughts here on the Bears, their pick, what you expect for them to do with Loveland in the offense.
I expect the Bears with Loveland in the offense. Um, I expect Loveland to have a similar season to Laporta, where he comes on not necessarily the first half, but the second half of the season, and he just is dynamic. I see Loveland having many 100-yard reception games. But again, the more people you have to cover, the more one-on-one opportunities you create.
Uh-huh.
You got to think DJ Moore is still on this team. Rome Odunze is still on this team. Cole Kmet is still on this team. If we got DeAndre Swift, he can catch out of the backfield. He's still on this team. You think about a running back adding to that running back room. I mean, there are many players that we can go after. I think Travion Henderson might be the guy for us to just go and get, right? We go and get him and we add him to our team. You still got Scatterboo
Yeah.
out there. If you're unsure, you still got Jadion Blue out there. There are many running backs that we
Forgot you
can.
like blue.
I do like Blue. He was physical and he run you over. I mean, you have all of these great running backs out here, but I think the safe pick is going after Travion Henderson because he is the number one running back. His position rank is third. Um, he has a grade of 88 coming out this draft. I think we should go get him, solidify that piece. Now, if once you start to talk about safety and free safety and all of that, I think Xavier Watts will be the guy. He may slide. Um, I think Xavier Watts should be the guy that we get. His position rank is 40th. He has just a grade draft of 79 coming out, so he's about an 80%. His overall rank holistically throughout this draft is he's a top 100 player. He's ranked at 70. So we could definitely use him, get another one of those top 100 players on our teams that is in this draft that could provide some competition and a competitive spirit to the safety position for Brisker, hoping he stay healthy, and then we have a safety net just in case he does.
Yeah, for sure. I think that I mean you said everything already, man. Let's make the moves. Let's do it, Pauls. Bring in Travion Henderson as our running back, the running back for the future. Obviously, Swift probably won't be back after this season, and you're predicting him getting traded. I just don't think he'll be back after this season either. So again, we in alignment there. Bring in Henderson, bring in a safety, even if it is the guy out of Carolina, Imuwari. I probably messed his name up. If it's McCool, whoever it is, we definitely need that safety. If we can get a D tackle or a D lineman after we get our running back and they're still worthy of being picked in that spot, I say we keep building out the trenches. But we definitely know we need a safety. We know we need a running back. So I think that's where they'll be going. And hey, I hope they make a good pick again. I'm glad that it didn't at least feel like a fail of a pick, like the Mitch Trubisky pick back in the day. I'm glad this one at
Yeah,
least feels good to Bears fans. It feels like this can actually be something
I
for
think
us.
it was unexpected.
It
Nobody
was.
had Loveland on the draft big board. They had Tyler Warren ranked ahead of him. They had Genty ahead of him. I didn't see too many draft boards with Loveland. Kind of came out of nowhere. Bears Nation, Bears fans, all
Yeah,
things Bears Focus podcast came out of nowhere. But hey, that's kind of how Poles does with his draft. He does 2-for-1s. He does the things that do come out of nowhere that you didn't even know were available, like him getting Keenan Allen for a fourth, fifth round pick last season. So
mm-hmm.
you got to trust Poles. You got to trust this staff. They have done nothing but holistically build out this team, not only to win now, but for future generations to come with a renowned quarterback at the helm that can actually get us to the big game and win it. He's ultra competitive. One thing I want to say about Caleb Williams, I like how he's not being friends with these other quarterbacks.
I like that.
He's really saying, "Hey, I really don't want to hang with you guys. I don't want to see you guys. I don't want to know anything about you guys because it's going to lessen my competitive edge to beat you guys." And you have to appreciate that just as a pure winner.
Most
Like
definitely.
if you don't win or you never won at anything in your life, you may not really understand. He's talking about winning. He's talking about just that juice, that urge to want to be great and do things right. I mean, Caleb Williams at the helm, you can't really beat that.
That's facts, man. That's facts. I agree. I think that you shouldn't be friends with these cats out here. They the enemy until you retire. Then y'all can be buddies. But Man, draft day one was exciting. Definitely was exciting. I'm looking forward to second, third rounds today. Hopefully the
I
Bears get some
I want
more
to go
good
on
pieces.
record that I want to
Oh,
say that today is going to be more exciting than yesterday's
it's
draft.
gonna be more exciting or crazier or more chaotic. Or give me a different word there.
It's gonna be exciting. I think it's definitely gonna be more chaotic.
More chaotic. Probably. I think we're definitely in store for a lot more trades in this second round, just because there are teams that don't have second round picks. There are multiple teams that have multiple picks here in this second round. So I think that we'll start seeing a lot more trades come into play in these second and third rounds. But man, I can't wait. I can't wait. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, listening to us today. We'll be back tomorrow with a recap of today's second and third rounds, going over the picks, going over our thoughts, going over everything for the league with the expectations for the Bears. Leave some comments down below what you guys had the Bears doing in the first round, what your thoughts were on the Loveland pick, man. Hey, congrats to you, Colston Loveland. Hopefully you come in and you do some great things for the Chicago Bears, man. But again, thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, Bears Focus Podcast, baby.